So tomorrow, many people will be honoring the legacy of Dr. King in some way. And with all of the videos I've made as of late about reading and the critical importance of recapturing our attention, I want to share an excerpt with you from a paper that Dr. King wrote when he was a student at Morehouse in 1947 about the purpose of education. He says, education must enable one to sift and weigh evidence, to discern the true from the false, the real from the unreal, and the facts from the fiction. The function of education, therefore, is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. If we are not careful, our colleges will produce a group of closed-minded, unscientific, illogical propagandists consumed with immoral acts. One of the major points that Dr. King makes in this essay is that the highest function of education is not information, that the highest function of education is actually discernment, the ability to discern right from wrong, real from fiction, substance from folly and falsehood. And almost 80 years after the publication of this essay, it is so critical to recognize that the worst educational institutions teach you what to think. The best teach you how to learn. The best educational institutions sharpen the blade of your intellect and your reasoning, and the worst try to dull and blunt and stifle and suppress. And the larger point here is that any sort of education without critical thinking, without some sense of moral grounding, can become dangerous. And I don't have to tell you how much of that we see in today's world. And so as you are thinking about your weekly activities and the scrolling and the breaking news, I just want you to pause for a second and consider how much of what you consume is sharpening the blade of your intellect and how much of it is creating anxiety, apathy, and suppression. And make a wise pivot towards activities and engagement that produce wisdom and discernment.